Hey there.
What's up?
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Ladies.
What are we waiting for? Jorge?
Where's Jorge?
Jorge was on already.
I know. He's got to come back.
I know. I was talking to Jorge and Iris. I don't know. About this crazy company this crazy construction company we rent from that thinks we're going to pay for their ceiling that fell down.
Are we live or are we?
We are, Mike.
I know. That's why I'm. Yeah.
You good, Jorge?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I lost my internet connection, but I'm good now.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Jorge, you want to welcome us to November's 5x5?
Yes, since I came in late, I might as well do the introduction. Well, welcome everybody to our November Star Garden 5x5 pitch night competition. We're very excited. This is our very last one for the year till January. And in January, we're going to be doing the Spanish one. So we're going to have to tell all of our Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs to, start submitting ideas after starting tomorrow, right, Lori?
Yeah, they actually get an extra month because we don't do an event in December. So there's a whole extra month for people to be able to submit their ideas.
So this is the Star Garden team, and we can gracefully say that Mercedes is also part of the Star Garden team. She's been a faithful judge for almost a year now, so and has been hanging out with us, during this pandemic. All of us working virtually from home. So we could take a minute just to introduce each one of us. My name is Jorge Gonzalez. I'm one of the directors at Star Garden, and very excited to be a judge tonight.
And I'm Lori Sapinski, another director at Star Garden. Same, very excited.
Mike Morin, director at Star Garden.
Mercedes Barragan, honorary Star Garden judge. And I work at Spectrum Health as an internal consultant with diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Daryl. I was just going to say that we want to thank Spectrum for being our series sponsor.
For sure. And thank you. I'm Daryl Ross with Star Garden, and this is 5x5. So for those of you who are not familiar with 5x5, once a month we take 5 entrepreneurs, we give them 5 minutes with 5 slides in front of 5 judges to win $5,000. We are Star Garden, located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So we're all about pushing entrepreneurship to battle the wealth gap and for wealth attainment. We really connect with any and everybody who wants to be an entrepreneur. So watch tonight. If you have any questions, shoot us some comments, email us, but it's really about starting businesses, making it easy, and making Grand Rapids the best place to create wealth through entrepreneurship. So without any further ado, I think we can, you guys want to get to some judging and some entrepreneurs?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So tonight's ideas is Xavier Kior Body Essentials. We have Freedom Elevated, Tiki Boys Hawaiian Barbecue, Payload CMS, and Rizar. And I hope I said that right. So I'm excited to hear from tonight's entrepreneurs. So Eris, let's bring up Avanti Footman.
All right.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hey, Avanti.
What's
Hi. Do I just start?
You just start.
All righty. All right. Hello, my name is Avanti Footman, and I am an entrepreneur, and I am the successful business owner of Xavier Kior Body Essentials. You can find us on 2 social media platforms, Facebook being one at Xavier Kior and at Xavier Kior Body Essentials. You may also find us on Instagram at Xavier Kior Body Essentials. You may also reach out to us through email at xavierkiorbodyessentials@gmail.com. And most importantly, you can shop with us online at www.xavierkiorbodyessentials.com. So I have this idea, and it is to provide an all-natural skincare essential line that ensures women inner confidence and outer beauty with a splash of glam and an all-natural touch. The dream is to be as big as Bath & Body Works and Victoria's Secret, or bigger. Xavier Kior Body Essentials will have a huge line of body essentials. So far, we have started by launching one essential, which is our all natural handcraft XKBE lip gloss. And since the XKBE lip gloss has launched, it has been a success. I have committed to launching our essentials one by one to allow my customers to not only know the brand, but like it and trust it. Since 2018, we have added gear and 3 more essentials to the XKBE brand. Xavier Kior chapstick, a Xavier Kior exfoliating lip scrub, and now a Xavier Kior fragrance body mist. What I've created so far is just a start. We will produce a huge line of essentials and more. Xavier Kior Body Essentials wants to impact and make a difference in the lives of younger girls that struggle with self-identity, confidence, and fear. So yes, the idea of providing all natural essential skincare line is just a percentage of what we would do with Xavier Kior Body Essentials. Another goal for XKBE is to ensure self-confidence in ladies. And there are many different ways that this can be done. And XKBE has been and wants to continue to be the face for that. Now, to talk about the market that XKBE is in. We are designated in a growing skincare market per the NPD Group and research. The skincare market is expected to grow annually by 5.3% between the year of 2020 and 2025. At current, skincare is a $5.7 billion industry in the U.S. and is up 8% year over year, which is great for XKBE because we are in a never-ending market, which gives us room to grow and longevity. I, Avanti, am the right person to continue to make this dream into reality because I have walked the shoes of what I am producing, meaning I was that young girl that struggled with loving herself in doubt. I am the right person because my heart is in it. XKBE has allowed me to see what my purpose in life is. This idea has made me recognize that I am a creator and a visionary. Since day one, I have executed the vision that I have. I have been consistent and persistent. And within the little amount of time, I have stood on what XKBE stands for by uplifting other women, giving, and even reaching out to young girls in my community. My plan is to continue to build the brand here in my community and in Michigan by doing vendor events, community engagement, and so much more. At this moment, I am grateful to be partnered with Davenport University Business Class, who is using XKBE as their business project. And one assignment is for them to focus on finding XKBE more events here in the Michigan areas for the market that we are in, which will help expand us here in Michigan. The dream is already reality. We are just in the beginning stage. To keep XKBE growing, we will stay consistent and focused. I do understand that staying consistent is key, but having funds is a major key as well. So I plan to use the $5,000 towards an XKBE pop-up tour here in Michigan, which is something that I thought of. I would like to travel to a few different cities and set up shop at their local malls, which would be great for networking, new customers, and of course, sales. I would use the $5,000 in a breakdown of 4. That's inventory, vendor, kiosks, and vendor fees, marketing, and travel expenses. And this is one opportunity that will help expand the XKBE brand here in Michigan. Thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to shop online at www.xavierkiorbodyessentials.com.
Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Yeah, great job.
Judges. Questions.
I'm sure you said this, but I might have missed it. You are selling currently online, and the kiosk idea is something new.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Correct.
Avanti, where are you getting the formulations for your product? Is there something unique about the formulations, or is it really more about the brand?
So the uniqueness about the products is it's all natural. So I have a lip gloss that I started selling first, and that's handcraft. So the uniqueness of it is that I make it myself.
Okay. And do you plan to do the same for your future products?
No, sir. So my ideal goal was to make my glosses like a signature thing, like to where they're handcrafted, it's like a plus. And
Yep.
then everything else would be wholesale. And I basically put my name on products, basically, to save time and, of course, possibly money as well.
Got it. Thanks, Avanti.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
No. Well, I do have a question. Actually, I love the kiosk idea. When would you ideally like to launch that, and how are you balancing it with everything COVID right now?
Right. Great question. So, that's really not a goal until 2021, but I want to prepare for it, now. Reaching out to different malls. I have done research as far as the malls here of, how much it costs to set up a kiosk and things like that. So, right now I'm still in the research stage of, as far as COVID, yes. So that's something that I will have to look into, but the pop-up tour is something that I want to do in the year of 2021.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Great. Great. Any other questions?
I'm good.
All right.
Good. Thank
Good.
you. And I think Damien, you're coming up next with Freedom Elevated.
Hello.
And
Hi.
hey, Damien, if you could do us a favor as you present, let us know when you want us to advance the slide, and we'll go ahead and advance the slide for you.
Absolutely.
And you can jump off whenever you're ready.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
First slide, please. Hi, everybody. My name is Damien Allen, also known as DJ Composition, and my company is called Freedom Elevated Defense Solutions. You can find me on social media on Instagram at freedom.elevated and on Facebook at Freedom Elevated Defense Solutions. You can shoot me an email at freedomelevated1@gmail.com, and I'm also online at freedomelevated.net. Next slide, please. My idea is to bring a firearm simulation system to the West Michigan area and provide new and seasoned firearm owners a more robust and situation-based training experience that you normally wouldn't find at an indoor training range. With the use of recoil-enabled infrared training firearms, we can build safer and more confident firearm owners anywhere and without live ammunition. The system also allows students to bring their own firearms with the purchase of a recoil-based conversion kit. More than just firing rounds at a standing target, this will allow us to put students in a virtual training simulation that will help them make the safest and best decisions under pressure. In addition, this tool allows me to create different and unique simulations that not only cover techniques and form of use of firearms, but also the legal side as well. Next slide, please. Why should we care the impact? 2020 alone has produced over 5 million new firearm owners in this country. Most have already taken classes or have been looking for a class to get a carry permit. This trend has grown and will continue, and more specifically in brown and black communities over the last 4 years. With anything, practice makes perfect, and with dealing with firearms, you could possibly save the life of a loved one of yourself. 60% of defensive gun uses have prevented assault, rape, or robbery. Since 2012, there have been close to 12,000 unintentional or accidental discharges of firearms. Most of these things happen with lack of resources, information, and proper training. With the surge of firearm sales this year, the amount of ammo available to use for training has been a challenge, leaving many owners to choose either to train and get better or save for an emergency. Firearm technique and accuracy is a diminishable skill that needs to be continuously worked on. Firearm owners that are smarter, safer, and better prepared makes our community that much greater overall. Next slide, please. Who am I? I am Damien Allen. I'm also DJ Composition, but I've been a Second Amendment rights advocate since 2004. This passion has driven me to become a firearms instructor, and even back in 2016, I helped host a free educational event for people in the community to ask questions with lawyers and other trainers. West Michigan has already started having these hard conversations around equality and equity, but if we aren't including freedom and liberty, we're only scratching the surface. So many citizens' lives can be saved just with the proper information and training. I'm one of a few Black instructors in the area, and this is just one of the steps in my plan to be one of the first Black-owned retail and training facility in West Michigan. Ultimately, representation matters. In the world of firearms, it's equally important that I'm here to service everyone, but even more critical to service those who have traditionally not been introduced to proper and legal firearm ownership. Next slide, please. With the 5K, I plan on purchasing the simulator system, the projector, and all of the training firearms needed, and start not only implementing them into my existing courses, but create and promote this as a standalone course. I've already put the work out and communicated with different organizations and companies to create a safety training and info program for the folks in the community. As the company grows, I want to reinvest, purchase more simulators, more training tools, and provide more classes for the people in the community. In addition to that, I want to bring in different trainers from all across the country to teach different courses, and not only just with firearms, but de-escalation and other life-saving medical techniques. I'm Damian Allen. I appreciate everybody's time, and this is Freedom Elevated Defense Solutions. Thank you.
Thanks, Damien. Judges,
Thank you, Dean.
any questions?
Yeah, can you explain how does the simulator system work? Is it people come to a physical location, obviously, and instead of a firing range, they're
Right.
using this online system. Can you kind of
So-
explain?
So basically, imagine this. It's a projector with a simulator program that I run off of my computer. And we would take existing real firearms with barrels converted with CO2 or like paintball air or airsoft that mimics exactly a recoil of a firearm, and it allows people to see what they're hitting. We can work on sight alignment, sight picture, better form, because in my experience of just showing people and new shooters, the recoil and the anticipation has been one of the biggest things that like scares people or makes them nervous. And this is kind of like training wheels before we actually get to that part.
So Damien, without the need for live ammo, does it reduce the cost of training, or does that basically kind of get absorbed because of the cost of the equipment?
Well, if you come with me, there will be a cost similar to just going to the range. But if you purchase a recoil system, it would be the same as buying a few hundred rounds of ammo, but you already have this for the duration of you owning the firearm.
Got it. Thank you.
So I'm wondering what is the cost for the training?
For the program itself, or to come take the course with me?
To take the course.
Most courses for a basic pistol introductory is $100 per person, and if people are looking to get their CPLs, that's $150. So this would be baked into that cost.
And my last question, and it's more out of curiosity. You said something about, the 5 million firearms purchased. Do you have stats or information on how many of that were from the minority community?
I can pull up stats, but last time I recall, that was 20% of that 5 million was women, and for the last 4 or 5 years, 45%, I believe, has been minorities or people of color purchasing firearms and getting trained.
So definitely that's your market.
Actually, I mean, that is a target market for sure, because I feel like that's where the biggest gap is. But I want to service everyone who wants to learn.
Right. Of course. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Does the recoiling system change per the caliber of bullet you use or the gun you use? So I'm just thinking like a Glock 17 or something versus a revolver.
Right.
Like the recoil are different for both of those guns. So
right. Well, a big determining factor in recoil is obviously the size of the caliber, but also the size of the barrel. If you have like a longer, like Yosemite Sam revolver, then the recoil won't be the same as a short snub nose version. But recoil was really the determining factor of the barrel length and the caliber. So with this recoil system, we basically use high pressure air or CO2 cartridges, and it will reenact the same sliding action that would be on your existing firearm or a replica.
Gotcha. Okay. And Damien, last question.
Sure.
What was the cost breakdown for the materials?
The simulation program. Oh, I'm sorry. The simulation program is $2,000. 4 of the training pistols comes out to about $850, and then the high definition projector is like $900, and other screens and stuff like that, and other promotional items. So that puts me really close to the $5,000 mark.
Okay. Thank you.
And no problem. And I already have my own classroom set up and everything else right now. So I do have a facility where people can come. But the beauty of this is that it's portable. So I can go to different places.
Gotcha.
I have one more question.
Sure.
What is the price of this compared to, courses that somebody would take at an actual firing range?
most ranges are around 150 to 200 bucks. It depends on if you're bringing your own firearm, if you need ammo, things like that. So while this helps reduce the cost of bringing ammo and actually more of like the buffer for new shooters, it reduces the amount of live rounds you have to fire to become certified. But like I said, training is a continuous thing. And you can't just buy a firearm and tuck it in the drawer and feel like you're good. Like you have to continually work at it.
Right. And if I'm hearing you right, Damien, it eliminates the need to go to a range. You can take this because you're not firing live rounds. You can basically take it anywhere. So the accessibility issue of not needing to go to a range is big.
Because in Grand Rapids, there's only maybe 2 or 3 indoor ranges. And then there's a lot of gun and rod clubs. And, you know, most people won't be comfortable shooting out in the wintertime, especially new shooters. So,
yeah. Right. Good stuff. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Damien.
Judges, who's up next? I think we have Shay. You are up next with Tiki Boys Hawaiian Barbecue.
Hello.
Hey, Shay.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Good.
Just as a reminder, let us know when you want us to advance the slide during your presentation, and you can start whenever.
Yep, no problem. First slide. So my name is Shay Himber. I am co-owner and chef of Tiki Boys Hawaiian Barbecue. We serve Hawaiian-style food in the form of a mobile food unit. You can check us out on Facebook or Instagram, where we have a strong social media following in the few months that we've been open over the summer. Next slide. Now, what is Hawaiian barbecue, you may be thinking? Hawaiian barbecue is a style of cuisine that originated on the Hawaiian Islands. From things like kalua pork, that's pulled pork seasoned with Hawaiian sea salt wrapped in banana leaves and slow roasted for up to 8 hours. Or ahi tuna poke bowls, which has a little Japanese influence, with fresh caught ahi tuna that we get shipped fresh overnight from Hawaii, served over warm, sticky rice. Ooh, I'm a little shaky. And fresh veggies and amazing sauces. Or huli huli chicken, a beautifully marinated chicken thigh grilled to perfection, served with our Hawaiian-style mac salad, fried rice, and even grilled pineapple. On the islands, these are served by street vendors, food trucks, and even restaurants. Our menu consists of these items and a lot more. We also have a smash burger with peanut butter and kimchi that is to die for. But please don't die, because we want you to come back. And if you come back dead, you're probably a zombie, and we do not serve brains unless there becomes a market for it. Next slide. All jokes aside, our market will be setting up at breweries, festivals, events, and wherever the most traffic will be at any given moment, whenever COVID lets up. But even with COVID, we are still considered takeout, and sales should not be affected, if not better, during this pandemic because of the limited choices for takeout, which we have seen and heard from other food trucks and friends over the spring and summer. We also plan to offer delivery to maximize our sales. Our menu is built for speed, so at big events, we can eat through lines of customers like Pac-Man, while still serving quality food. Not only do we want to bring the amazing flavors of the islands to our community, but also the idea of love and aloha. Back one slide, sorry. Bring the amazing flavors of the islands to our community through love and aloha, through a program that will be implemented on our food truck called Plate It Forward, where you can buy a plate for someone in need. We also try to keep our prices fair and our plates fat, so you will not go home hungry or broke. I feel West Michigan has been on the come up when it comes to the food industry, but I still think it lacks a little diversity, which is what we will be bringing with our menu. Okay, next slide. Like I said in the beginning, my name is Shay, chef and co-owner. I also have 2 business partners who are also my childhood friends, Max Archer and Hunter Camp, who can't be here with me today due to us keeping safe and quarantining. We have all worked in the service industry, with Max and Hunter being servers/bartenders, and even both cooking at one point. I myself have a strong passion for food, which shows in my social media presence. I've won some awards at Taste of Muskegon with my menu that I created for Rad Dad's Taco and Tequila Bar. I also run a food blog called Food Uncensored, which has gained over 38,000 followers and over 1.7 million views on one video alone on TikTok, which can help us with marketing and getting our name out there. In our younger years, my first time visiting the islands was with Hunter and his family, who are native to the islands, who also introduced me to the food and a few recipes. A few years later, the islands called me back, and I ended up moving there for 6 months and worked in some kitchens where my love deepened for the food and just the way of life in general. And then, last slide. This past summer, we wanted to get our feet wet and not just jump right into getting a food truck. So we started with a pop-up tent with minimal equipment to see if there was a market, and there was. We gained popularity quick in the community, and everyone loved our food. We plan to use the 5K to put towards getting a food truck or trailer and open next spring with a more extensive menu and better hours and just better service all around. We did good with the little equipment we did have, so I can only imagine the things we can accomplish with a food truck. We are grateful to have the opportunity to present our business ideals with you. Mahalo.
All right.
Food looks good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions for Tiki Boys?
So explain to me again, you were operational this summer, you said?
Yeah, we were in a parking lot of a bar in our hometown called My Bar. We just had a little pop-up tent, 10 by 10. You know, we had some grills and a flat top out there that we'd cook our stuff fresh, put it in warmers. So, yeah. So like we were outside, you know, the elements were always a risk of us not being able to open. So, I mean, you know, having a food truck would help us be able to be open more and whenever, even if the weather is acting up, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Shay, what is your estimate that the food truck will cost you? What's your total cost for the new truck? And do you have any of the money currently, or do you have to raise it all?
We have to raise most of it, yes, but we're all going to be working our separate jobs over the winter to save up for the spring. I've seen a few that were like 25K, but they also have where you can put money down and financing, you know, so. And if you have, since we already started and like people see that we've already made the attempt to do it with the minimal equipment, you know, so we can get other investors and such, you know, and this would just help to show people that we've put in the effort and people like our stuff. So, yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Shay.
Just to elaborate on that, Mike, when I read the idea, you had mentioned that you were looking at a food trailer versus a food truck.
Yeah.
And now you're saying a food truck. There's a huge difference in price, and I'm just wondering, you and your partners.
The idea is a food trailer, you know, because food trucks can be more expensive,
right?
You know, so we'd like a food trailer that way. If with a food truck, if it breaks down, you're kind of screwed. But if you have a food trailer, you can get a new truck or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, I mean, a food trailer, I just put food truck or trailer, you know, but a food trailer is what we're going for.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
And the food trailer is equipped for you to cook in the food trailer.
You cook in the food trailer, and it has all the hood vents and fryers and flat tops, grills and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Cold holding.
Well, Shay, one more quick question. So from your experiment this summer, what did you guys learn about the price you think you can charge for your food and the cost and how much profit, you know, what do you think that, I mean, I know it was a limited experiment, but
I mean, we kept our food costs at like 25%, you know, our plates were like $10. The most expensive one was our poke, which, cause we get fresh ahi flown in from Hawaii. So it was pretty expensive. So that was like $15, but worth it. But other than that, everything else was pretty cheap and the plates were really full. And, you know, nobody complained that they were still full afterwards. You know, they still had to-goes.
So that $15 plate cost you how much?
for like the chicken plates, maybe like $3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Yep.
I haven't had dinner yet, so this was
Right, right.
fun.
I'm hungry now.
Torture.
Thank
All right. Thanks a lot, Shay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And next we have James with Payload CMS.
Hi guys. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
James.
We
Yeah.
can.
I
Cool. Yeah, maybe just a little about me real quick. My name is James Mykrit. I am local to Grand Rapids. I am very thankful to be here. This group makes Grand Rapids just feel like a greater place in general for business, and I appreciate that. It just feels like a better community because you guys are pushing like you are. And yeah, so I'm no stranger to Star Garden. I am a designer, a web developer for about 10 years. I founded the digital design firm Trouble here in Grand Rapids. I've got clients worldwide, and I have a really great team. We get to build really cool stuff. And Payload is one of those things that we are building. I do have two partners as well with Payload, Elliot Danoff and Dan Ribbons. The three of us were all senior web developers, and we have been around the block before. And this project is not yet public, so there is no social media really to speak of. I've got all the social media handles, but there's no posts yet because our idea is different from what other people have done, and I don't want to give it away until it's done and it's live. So we're kind of in stealth mode at this point. But Payload is a new type of content management system. So what that means is a content management system is something that allows you to edit digital stuff, website, application, whatever, without writing code yourself. So if you're a marketer or somebody that needs to manage a website, you can log into an admin panel and you can manage the content of the website without having to write code. So it's a pretty powerful thing. Currently, the popular one is WordPress. You can go back. I'm not ready yet, but I'll let you know. WordPress powers 30% of the internet right now, which is a crazy number. And literally, WordPress was built as a blogging platform. It should power posts and pages. But if you get more complex than that, WordPress is not your favorite friend. Next slide. So modern apps can be delivered through a smart TV app. They can come to your watch. They can come to your phone. They can come to a website, a desktop app, all over the place. The same content needs to be managed in one place. So imagine you're Spotify and you have all of these artists. Each one has an album cover. They have descriptions. They have song titles. Somebody actually manages that content in the background, and it's a manual process. And they can't use WordPress because WordPress is bundled right directly to the website that it runs. And when you get a little bit more complex as a company or as an app, WordPress is just out the window. So what do? You have to build your own solution every single time. Anything more complex than a simple website, you're going to be rolling your own software every single time, and that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. WordPress is still in use, though, by a lot of people because there is no alternative. There's a couple other CMS out there that are similar to Payload, but really in general, I still used WordPress 6 months ago before Payload was as mature as it is because there was just no better solution. So WordPress is gone. Payload's going to step in. Next slide. And it's going to manage content in one place. It's API based, which means that any app can pull its content. If it's a native app on your phone or if it's a website, it's content managed in one single place, but any number of uses can rely on it. And it gives you user authentication. It gives you file storage. It gives you security, permissions, all kinds of other stuff that app developers generally need right out of the box. So it saves developers a lot of time. You can bootstrap full businesses that are highly complex and technical with Payload in a fraction of the time if you had to roll it yourself and write it from scratch. I've written it from scratch many times. It's not fun, and that's why Payload is here. Next slide. Right now, Payload is 100% done. We have written about 50,000 lines of code over the last 2 years. It has been a crazy last 2 years. We've refactored, we've redone everything, we've learned from our mistakes, and we've poured our hearts and souls into this thing. And we've bootstrapped it. So this is out of our own pockets. Oh, I better pick up the pace. We've got live projects with this right now. These are 2 screenshots of actual production projects proving that it's in use. They're crazy complex. You can do a lot of stuff, and Payload was just beautiful in the use there. Next slide. It's these are realistic revenue goals. It's going to be $264 per year for payload or $29 a month. It's a subscription model. The yearly is going to be a little bit of a discount, but if we sell one license every other day for 5 years at a 5% growth rate, we're going to be looking at $1.2 million in revenue with very, very little overhead. So we can reinvest in staff. We can build a sustainable business very easily and make good income off of it. And this is internet scale earning potential. This is going to be worldwide. So what we're going to use the money for is getting the word out there. That's it. That's the only thing we need. And yeah, that's time. That's it.
Thanks so much, James. I know you guys have a lot of questions on this.
I do. I know this space. Pretty well from previous. So, like, James, the competitive landscape. I know you're doing unique stuff, but like, if you look up like digital content management CMSs, right? There's a lot of them. So what's your thought, like, from a marketing standpoint, on how you cut through the noise? Because I think the biggest challenge with solutions like this is the cost of finding customers.
Yep.
In a noisy market. So what's your thought about that?
So actually in the JavaScript space, so my CMS is JavaScript, and in that space, there are very, very few CMS built like that. JavaScript is the most popular programming language, but all CMS like WordPress, Craft CMS, Joomla, Drupal, all those other ones, those are all PHP. And PHP is an older programming language. Now it's kind of legacy. Everybody's moving towards JavaScript, and we're actually one of very few, but our differentiating factors in what the code can do, developers search for it. So we're going to plant this idea in the right online communities to get to developers, and it'll resonate. I can guarantee it, because I've searched and I see people searching often on like Reddit, Dev.to, Medium. They're looking for things like this. So all I have to do is just put it there.
Okay, got it.
James, you said that WordPress is taking about 20% of the market. Could you give me maybe a quick persona of the type of customer that is using WordPress right now?
Yeah, so WordPress is not like our exact market, because anybody can use WordPress, and you have to be a developer to use Payload to set it up. WordPress you can pull off the shelf and you can install, and you don't really need to be too technical. But with Payload, we're going to be specifically targeting developers. That's it, because it's more for like an infrastructure that you need to maintain and take care of, rather than just slapping out a quick blog. And so WordPress's market is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit different, but it's still massive. And even if we got a tiny percentage of that, we would be very, very pleased with our results.
Gotcha. So you mentioned towards the end of your presentation that you were going to use the $5,000 to get the word out there. And so your target market are developers. How do you plan to use the $5,000 to reach that audience specifically?
Two things. So first, you can target advertising campaigns quite well. So I can actually say, like, people that are interested in web development, people that know JavaScript, you can target them specifically. And also, I'm going to generate content and post content. Like, if it's a blog post about a guide for how to implement something, or if it's a tutorial for a technical thing that's common, we're going to write that. And I need to invest in those things. So advertising and content generation.
Thank you.
That was my question, so you covered it.
That was actually mine as well.
That's an important question.
James, how much more development is needed to get the product complete? It's totally done, or it's ready for like MVP, or?
It's a beta right now. So last week, my partners and I were working on the actual subscription billing side of it, so we can actually issue license keys and bill customers with Stripe. It's a payment processor.
Yeah, sure.
We were doing that. We're doing the business administration side. The product is done. So Our website is done. We have to write documentation and publish it. And our goal is by the end of the year. It's super exciting.
Got it. Thanks, James.
Cool. All right. Thanks a lot, James.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
And last but not least, I think we have Ashley coming up next.
Hi, can you all see me?
Hey, we can.
Great. Okay, I'll get started. Hi, my name is Ashley Williams, and my company is Razar. As a founder and CEO of Razar, we're better connecting brands with younger generations through purpose-driven content. I think you need to move the slide. Next slide. Meet Razar. Razar is a curated content marketplace that connects businesses with a network of over 5,000 millennial and Gen Z content creators who make them articles, videos, podcasts, and photos. In creating Razar, our goal is to help businesses reach the growing $3 trillion buying power of millennials and Gen Zers. You see, the creators speak on behalf of a brand as they create content that markets the brand's services and products. Razar also helps creators, providing them with opportunities to build their careers and to get paid to do what they love. Our patent-pending technology, creator network, and content processes position us above our competitors. Next slide. And now, due to COVID-19, Razar can make a greater impact. Every business has become a media company in some way, whether reaching prospective employees, attracting potential customers, or engaging audiences. Every brand right now is especially in need of digital media. And from this need, my team and I have been able to help numerous brands across a variety of industries with their content needs. Some of them are shown here. And so far, our secret sauce seems to be making an impact. Our customers receive 2 times, 7 times, and even 200 times more engagement. To help our customers, we offer content as a service. We sell our content a la carte with prices ranging from $100 to $4,000. We also offer monthly and daily subscriptions. Our primary and target customers right now are Fortune 500 companies, but we also help medium-sized businesses, small businesses, and startups. We also plan to help them further as we automate our technology in the next phase of Razar. In doing so, we plan to capture some of the $30 billion creative advertising opportunity in just the US alone. Next slide. And I know we can do this because I believe it is my life mission to help businesses change the world through content using Razar. As a journalism graduate of USC and a former journalist for NBC News and USA Today, I am extremely passionate about content creation and helping brands to not waste their revenue on ineffective content marketing, especially when trying to gain the loyalty and buying power of millennials and Gen Z. Next slide. Since starting Razar, we've made a lot of progress, but we still need help. In receiving the $5,000, we can further hire an admin and client a sales success associate or 2. We will also use the money as working capital to help us with our tech development, legal costs, and server needs. Please support us. And remember, all it takes is you to make an impact. I just want to say something else too. As an African-American woman who has a technology company, I hope to use my platform to be able to inspire other African-American women and minorities in general to pursue careers in technology. I hope you will support me in doing so and that you will emphasize with the positive impact my team and I aspire to make. Thank you.
Thank you, judges.
So currently, Ashley, how do you go about, what is your sales technique? Like, how are you finding your clients? You're working with pretty big companies. How are you marketing yourself?
Yeah, so a couple of ways. One is through a lot of some of the clients that we've had, it's word of mouth. Additionally, we reach out to like CEOs or CMOs of large companies or through different connections. For example, with Northwestern Mutual, through having a connection there, we were able to get in touch with their chief marketing officer in Michigan, and then that led us to their headquarters, which allowed us to get a pilot with them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
Are most of your relationships with these companies kind of project based, or do you have retainers with any of them? How are your deals structured with your clients?
Yes, right now we have a couple of retainers, but most of them are project based, which we're as we go into the next phase of the company, especially with automating the technology, looking to expand those into subscriptions, either monthly or daily.
Got it. What are you guys hoping? Do you have an idea what your revenue projections are for the next 12 months? Hopefully.
Yeah, if we continue, especially with gaining more larger customers, especially with the pilots and having those be successful, we're hoping we can get into the range of around $1 million in revenue.
That's great. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are your employees, are they contract? Are you hiring people full time, or are they working project basis?
Yeah, they're project based right now. So I am actually full time with the company. We're also planning to raise a seed round right now currently so we can hire more team members. Luckily, we do have a large content network of the content creators that is helpful with that, but most of which, it's just managing everything as of now.
Gotcha. Wow. Pretty
Good.
impressive.
Thank you. It's been a journey.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you so much.
And now is the time where we will retreat as judges and chop it up for about 5-10 minutes to figure out who is going to come away with the $5,000 check. Who's giving a check this week? Is it you, Jorge?
I will, yeah. I'll do it. I'll make it happen. You know it.
That's the only thing that the people care about, Jorge, is where do they get their money?
Right.
I'll be able to answer that.
So it's going to be the best check presentation ever on the other side of this break. And when we announce the winner. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks.
now we're back.
We are back. You guys ready to give away some money?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
All right. It was very hard this month. Very good entrepreneurs, but we have good entrepreneurs every month. But the mix of entrepreneurs between tech, innovation, food, really exciting to see what people are doing. So we'll bring everybody up, I think one by one, give them some feedback, and then we'll announce a winner.
Sounds good.
Is that good?
Great. Perfect.
All right. Who's first for feedback?
Xavi. We're going to do it in the order that they presented.
Okay. Xavi, feedback. I just want to say, definitely my favorite entrepreneur tonight. Got all the hustle, everything it takes to be successful in the game of entrepreneurship. Keep it up. Excited to see as you go white label and so forth. But definitely love your excitement and drive. And like again, entrepreneurs have a secret something, and you definitely have it.
Thank you.
I agree with everything Daryl said. I am excited for your future. Like, I'm excited for what you have coming up. Like that spirit, that entrepreneurial spirit you have. I mean, you came into this presentation fierce. I agree with Daryl, one of my favorite presenters. One of the best presenters I have seen since I started doing this. Just, you did fantastic tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what I'd like too. I mean, you addressed the fact that you've got competitors out there. But you've got a plan, you've got a goal. So yeah, great job.
Thank you.
I appreciated the fact that in your presentation you really broke it down as far as what you're going to use the money for. As far as the 3,000 for the kiosk, 1,000 for inventory, even marketing and travel expenses. So it was a very good presentation. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. Who's next?
Next is Damien.
Hello.
Jamie, once again, great presentation, great business concept.
Thank you.
I think the culture is needed, or a change in the culture is needed. Bringing innovation and tech to a different sector and opening up the market is very exciting. That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I would agree. And Daryl, I know you and I have spoken about this before, and the need, especially for more training in the minority community. I think I can speak on my behalf. I have never been to a gun range, and I honestly feel that it won't be welcomed. Just because of me being a minority. So the fact that you're doing this and it's so innovative, I really appreciate it. And I think it's a great concept.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I've been to a gun range once. I shot a Glock 17. I remember not feeling welcomed when I was the only female there, but then the only Latina there. But then I felt a lot more comfortable once I saw my target, because I was on target. But
Dangerous.
I think that connecting with community, Damien, and finding those folks who might not even know that they need something like this. I think it's going to be important. So keep tapping into communities that, like you have been, and I think that's going to take you really far. But I love your idea. I love this virtual space and shooting range, and then making it a place that is welcoming for people of color. It's so important right now.
Absolutely, there's been a huge gap since the beginning. So I want to do my part to close that gap.
Yeah, and Damien, the thing that I like too, you didn't really talk about it a lot, but you talked about the need for training, but then you also talked about the need for some training on like de-escalation.
Absolutely.
Which I think is key. You generally don't get that, I don't think, at a shooting range.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, guys.
Keep them coming.
Next. Yep.
Who's next? Shay. Hey Shay, how are you?
I'm
Food
good,
looks
man.
delicious.
Thanks.
Great job at taking an idea and doing something, which is always the first step of entrepreneurship. So pitching a tent and being willing to put your idea to work is something that should be applauded.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you know, thinking about sort of, you know, diversity in food offerings is always great. Obviously, it sounds like you're starting to get a following, so that's awesome too. I think you're at the early stage, right? So, or you know, currently right now you're limited because you need the equipment to be able to keep things moving.
Right.
Just wondering, you know, had you thought about doing anything in the winter? You know,
Well, I mean,
are you doing anything now?
We were with Pigeon Hill Brewing. They have like a little kitchen facility in there.
Yep.
And so that's what we were going to plan on doing over the winter. But like we still cook outside, so we needed something to cook in so we could bring the food in. But also since COVID with the shutdowns again, you know, so it's been So we're hoping things will be better during up and coming times in the spring, summer.
All right.
Cool. Keep up the good food.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Next is James. Hey there.
Hi.
Hey there. James, great job as usual. It's great to watch your journey, see how far Payload has come. Just an exciting project and great entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Yeah, I echo that as well. I think the one thing we did talk about was about your, you know, the plan you have for, I mean, the product is ready to go now. You just have to get it out there. You have to market it. So we wondered about the plan a little bit more, you know. I think Mercedes asked about it.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog's over here jingling his little belt. But you know, just the I think we really wanted to understand. It seemed like your marketing plan could be flushed out a little bit more in terms of how you're reaching those developers. I know you mentioned that you would post blogs and write articles and be in those spaces that those developers are. But I think having a little bit more robust plan could really benefit, because you clearly have a really good product. And maybe that's just how developers kind of work in this world. But I think it would be beneficial to explore you know, specific targeted marketing strategies outside of, you know, kind of just reaching into those spaces where they are and posting stuff.
Totally. Understood.
And I would agree. Having a son that is actually a developer, when I was listening to your presentation, I'm like, that's something that my son could benefit from. So definitely a great product. So keep it up, James.
I didn't know your son was a developer. Maybe I'll have to meet him sometime.
He's always at Start Garden, so I'm sure you'll meet him someday.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
And then Ashley.
Ashley, great job.
Thank you.
The rest of the judges chime in.
Yeah, no, I think we all were really impressed with what you're doing and you know where you've started to grow this business. Yeah, and I think obviously promoting minority women in tech is amazing. So it's very impressive. Absolutely.
Yeah, the amount of content and just the contract you've been able to get is just amazing. So.
I guess thinking also, I know that you were able to secure, you know, several big projects with big enterprises, and that's cool and everything. And I think you're gonna go out very far. But I'm also appreciative that you're also providing content for, you know, the smaller startups that we actually help with. So the fact that you're doing that, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you know, something that I think we say on Start Garden to all of our presenters is that even though, you know, folks don't win, in a lot of ways, you're already winning just by being on here. And the folks who watch are paying attention and are reaching out to folks. I know there was a young lady that I reached out to after I seen her present, and just got to connect with her a little bit more. And so, Ashley, regardless of what happens tonight, I think you have a lot of people with their eyes on you in a very positive way. And so, you know, I feel that there are people going to be reaching out to you to learn more, to fund, to connect with you. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I really do feel that you have a fantastic product, and you've already done it, right? You've already built it. So keep up the fantastic work. Keep making those connections. And a great job today.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think before we present the check, I would just like to sort of kind of reiterate what Mercedes was saying just now with Ashley, was the fact that, you know, all 5 of the presenters tonight were really great, and a lot of hustle, a lot of great ideas. And obviously we can only pick one winner. So, but we will follow up with everybody afterwards, because I think there's a lot of other things that we can connect people to. And I think, you know, when we try to make the decision as judges about who is going to, you know, get the check tonight, it's really about who in our, you know, from what we've heard and from what we saw, who would really be able to take that money, and, you know, that $5,000 makes an impact pretty much right away.
And in addition to that, keep in mind that all the entrepreneurs tonight, and whether you pitch at 5x5 and make it to the top 5 or 100 ideas, you're all part of our network. You become part of our online community, where we have network. Well, if COVID wasn't around, you know, you come to the space, meet entrepreneurs, funders, and so forth. So this is a lot more than just a pitch competition. This is really about creating a network of entrepreneurs. Again, building wealth and changing the city. And on that note, I think Jorge, you did the last month the presentation. So Lori, do you want to name the winner this month?
Yes, I would be honored to name Damien.
Congrats, sir. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you starting local businesses, again, bringing innovation and technology to sectors that really aren't known for it, and doing it in an inclusive manner. So great work, a great idea, and however we can be supportive of you, please let us know.
Thank you very much. This is going to save a lot of lives and get people educated. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Damien, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
excited for you.
We got to see you get busy with that Glock 17. All right.
You know what? I'm down.
Let's go.
I'm down.
Congratulations again.
Yep.
I'm about to be sending you this actual check right here. You know, this paper check.
Okay.
You just use some scissors on it.
Yeah. But for sure, we'll connect with you and get the information needed so we can send you the actual check. So congratulations once again.
All right. Thank you again for the opportunity, y'all.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Very welcome. And happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays on behalf
Happy
of
holidays.
us. Start Garden, have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks Spectrum Health for sponsoring it, Grand Rapids Smart Zone, Weggy Kellogg Foundation, everybody else who allows us to put money directly in the hands of entrepreneurs, because that is the best capacity training. So with that, enjoy the holidays. Be blessed. We'll see you back in January with our Spanish 5x5. And it would be dope if I was able to say that in Spanish right there. But on that note, I'll let Jorge close it out.
Well, by then, I think I'm going to have to train. Well, Mercedes already speaks Spanish, but Lori and Daryl are going to take Spanish classes from me. So we'll be judges in January, and we'll make it happen. Thanks once again to everybody. Congratulations to Damien. And Lori will be reaching out to the other 4 pitches. Yeah. And we'll continue to work with you. So thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you. Star
Thanks.
Garden team, it's
Stay
always
safe,
a pleasure.
everyone.
Everybody have a good holiday. Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.